morning of December 7th. We are right in the middle of a wild thunder and lightning storm. And I got 2 reefs in the main. We're just basically hove to here. I mean, there's nothing to do but just sit this thing out. God, some of this lightning is just scaring the bejesus out of me. Ah, you bastard! It is Tuesday, the 7th of December. We're approximately 29 north, 75 west. We had quite the night with some pretty severe thunder and lightning storms, with some lightning strikes that were putting the hair up on my neck. It's calming down now. We still have these storms around though, which is why we're just bobbing around circles. I just got the reefed mainsail pulled in tight to try to stop some of the rolling, but otherwise the headsails are just down on deck. We do have a southwest wind we could sail, but I would have to give her all plain sail to really make any progress, and I'm afraid to do that because we still have these thunderstorms and squalls around, and I don't want to get caught. I don't want to get caught with all that sail up. So we're just bobbing around circles. Predict wind through Iridium Go is not too much help either. The 3 models, European GFS and Predict Wind model, for the next several days pretty much don't really agree. Other than we're just gonna have a lot of variable winds. It looks like this is the remnants of a cold front. So for the next several days it looks like we're pretty much just gonna sit here. This is a parking lot, and maybe we'll get some wind tomorrow. We might get some westerlies so we can work our way to the south-southwest. And then the Predict Wind model is showing Thursday into Friday easterlies developing a little further down south. So we can work our way a little down south. We can pick up those easterlies. We might be okay. The only feature they agree on is early next week, Monday. So 6 days from now, it looks like a strong cold front's going to sweep through. We're going to get a norther. So I definitely want to be in somewhere to weather that, to shelter from that. Hopefully I'll make it all the way to Florida by then. But one never knows, because we're not going anywhere just now. And we still have like a little less than 250 miles until we get to the Bahamas, to the Berry Islands. So, and so there's nothing to do. I mean, we're just sitting out here, and until we get a fair wind. And as I say, there's no. It doesn't look like until Friday the model's starting to agree that we'll get easterly winds. We'll start to get some fair winds. And in the meantime, it's just going to be a lot of variable, a lot of baffling variable winds. So that's the situation. It's starting to rain again, so I'm going to go duck inside my Dodger, which is doing quite a nice job here. So in all the excitement this morning, I ended up losing my bucket overboard, which also serves as my toilet when offshore. So I bucked it and chucked it and ended up chucking the bucket. So now I gotta make a new lanyard for a new bucket. All right, new bucket. Well, the bucket part's easy. I just pull a spare plastic bucket out of my storage area. The hard part is you got to put a rope on it, because a bucket on a boat's no good unless you got a rope on it. Over. And so then we actually got a nice, pretty fair wind last night. We got a northwest or west-northwest, so that was good. But the leftover swell was just horrendous. The boat was getting knocked all over the place. And my aft shrouds might need another little tightening there. Hard to say. So far as the rigging goes, I've had to tighten them a total of 4 times since initially setting them up. But I haven't had to tighten them. I did tighten them twice on this passage early on, but it's now been 5 or 6 days since they've needed any tightening. So it seems like they pretty much, it's stretched out. They're stretched out now and not expanding anymore. So that's good. Yeah, so we had a nice fair wind, and I actually had some good sailing to about midnight. And then the winds dropped off to nothing. And now we got a gentle breeze working in from the south again, southwest. I'm not going to try sailing until it gets any kind of strength, because I'm sick of trying to sail to windward. The only other good news is that it looks like starting tonight into tomorrow, we're going to begin to get some fair wind for real. And it looks like Thursday and then into Friday, steady, moderate easterlies are going to build in. So then we'll have wind to get us on our way. And I might or might not anchor in the Berry Islands. Might be. I mean, there's a beautiful spot, but I have to see what the weather forecast is. Because it looks like next week, some of the models are showing those east to northeast getting kind of strong. In which case it would not be, I would have to wait for those to go down before crossing the Gulf Stream. Because, you know, speaking of wild seas, I don't particularly care to get into that. So, so again, that just, welcome to, this is life on an ocean sailing boat. Which is that, you don't measure distance so much in nautical miles as you measure it as in terms of how long it's going to take you and how difficult it is to sail there. Because when you got winds on the nose, especially with a boat like this, it just, I mean, its progress is just so slow. And it's not very comfortable sailing either. So distances are more in terms of what the weather is going to do for you. So what else happened? Oh yeah, so this morning once again, catching my 40 winks, woke up and the lights had gone out. Radio's off, nav lights, no nav lights. And so I burned the battery all the way down again. Actually, I didn't burn the battery down. The lithium batteries have a battery management system that prevent you from burning them too far down. So the BMS had just cut it off. Now, because I still have some cream in the ice box there, which I'm trying to keep cold, and I've been turning the fridge off at night and just running it in the daytime when I have some sun on the panels. And I have been running the generator, little Honda, when possible, but it's still, it's just taking up too much power. And the one drawback I'm finding with lithium batteries is state of charge is just impossible based on voltage. It's really hard to tell. You'll have 12.8, 12.9 volts all the way down till, and then it'll just very suddenly turn off at the end. I mean, it's just all of a sudden. So it's not so much like a battery burning down, it's just a car running out of gas. You know, you only begin to notice it right when you're, you know, I mean, that's your indication you're out of gas, and then by the time, you know, and then 5 minutes later, you're dead. So, so it looks like more complicated stuff. I'm going to have to install some sort of system that monitors current, because it seems like that's the only way to do it. You have to monitor how much is going in and how much is going out of the battery. because otherwise it's just I'm just estimating it in my head, and this is the 4th time I burned those batteries all the way down. I just wasn't paying attention. So other than that, that's nice and pleasant out here, isn't it? And these seas have gone down. I mean, we're still rocking and rolling a bit, but it's fairly flat. So so it looks like we're turning the corner here. Hopefully we've passed the point. It seems like on every ocean passage there's a point where you just begin to think that maybe you've got the curse of the Flying Dutchman and you're just going to be out here wandering around for the rest of your days. Especially when you got headwinds, because you're just tacking back and forth and trying to find a favorable slant here, a favorable slant there, and it it seems like you're just doing nothing but wandering around the North Atlantic Ocean while your stores are dwindling down. So hopefully we've turned the corner. We are actually going to make it into port at some point here, and so I think things are starting to look a little more positive now. So we'll see. Otherwise, I think I'm going to get on with breakfast. Just had my first mug of coffee, and we'll get on with it. And well, it's now a nice day at sea here. So talk to y'all again later. Take care. Well, I'm a new man, shaving a haircut. Well, it was more than breakfast and coffee. I also pulled out the clippers and gave myself a haircut, as well as a shave. We still have light southwest winds, so we're close hauled and steering a more or less southerly heading toward the Bahamas. And the plan is to pass through the Bahamas and across the Bahama Bank and then back across the Gulf Stream to Key Biscayne, Florida. So that's still the plan.